legendary warriors, the powers that created us, now want us all extinguished. We must join forces, or else forever be their slave. So today you stand with us, or you stand against me.
Finally, the amazing study series Extinction Prime is here, which packaging also marks the comeback of the transparent plastic cover. This new packaging definitely resembles the original study series packaging style a lot, except for the fact that there's no more movie scene backdrop that's tailored to X characters. The figures come with 3 weapons and 1 sword holder. Unfortunately, the packaging cannot be reused once the figure is taken out. And yes, these highly anticipated figures look amazing in hand. Some of us may think that the backpack is too big, but honestly, for me, I don't mind this backpack at all. Especially when we can take this entirely off. It's an option to make the figures look so much leaner. And yes, this Optimus Prime is amazing for recreating so many scenes from a movie, especially those battle scenes with Galvatron. The final battle scene with Lockdown and Kate Yeager, and the awesome Knight and Barbarian battle between Optimus Prime and Megatron from the last Knight movie. All those scenes with the Iron Blaster as the KSI headquarters. Here is how our study series Extinction Primes looks in hand. Just from this simple pose, we can already see how much better this figures is in comparison to that of the last Knight Warrior class mainline figures in 2017. This figures is more proportionally accurate and it have way more articulation. Firstly, you can see that now it have waist swivel, and also it have better footing with better heels for better balancing effects, and also way better ankle tails for more possibility. And of course, we already see that the figures have better molding details on the fronts, as well as more movie accurate weapons, including the sword that is longer and sharper and also doesn't have the carrot colors, a shield that is more movie accurate and can also be opened and become the gun that he's used in the movie, and of course the Energon sword that he used to fight with Galvatron in the movie. Now let's take a closer look at his details. So firstly, take off the weapons. Of course, his hands have articulation here, so we can just open that and then take off the sword. Then on here, we can take off the shield that just got plugged in on the arms, and then plug this off. This sword actually have 2 connections. So one is the square ones right here that can be plugged directly into this pack here, like so. But it can also have the round connection, which can also be plugged right on the arm and have him just handheld the weapon like this in the Dark of the Moon movie, which is pretty cool. So we have 2 options with this Energon sword, and of course this Energon sword is way too short in comparison to the TLK or the Extinction sword. Let's put them on the sides, and then the last accessory that we have is this connection over here, which is the sword holder, which we can just use to put the swords right in here, and that is how he plugged the sword right on his back. And of course, with that connection right there, we can also just put the shield on, so we can have both the shield and the sword right on the back of the Optimus figures. To put them on the vehicle mode, we can also just leave this combination mode on there and just plug it directly onto the top of the truck. Back to here, we have the connection there. If you don't want to see that port, you can actually flip this down so it covers that port. It also makes backpack a little cleaner. And now we can see his close-up details. Firstly, look at that head. You can see that that head looks so good. Over the course of many years, Hasbro has definitely nailed the head sculpt for Optimus Prime, especially for the face mask head sculpt. As we go to the neck region, you can see that there's some molded details right on that neck as well. It doesn't just have the rod with the bone joints, they actually sculpt in the neck region as well. And then we have this shoulder pad region, which looks really accurate as well. As we go to the chest region, there's a lot of molded details going on in here, both in the middle, down to the chest and abdominal section, and then of course on the main chest itself. And we do have the tiny Autobot insignia got right in the middle of the chest right there. As we go to the shoulder region, there's more molded details going on the arm. Looks really good. Of course on this arm as well, very similar details. As we go to the skirt region, we can see that there's more molded details on the skirt right there. Crotch region looks a little weird. At first I thought it was backward because we can see the 2 screws over there, but after we flip to the back side, it actually is the correct orientation because this have the ports we can use to put him with some play stand. This is actually not backward, it just look like that. And then for the leg region, we have more molded details right in here. They have to say that they sculpt in very accurate details on the legs, especially those regions over here. For the back side, we actually have 2 different back sides of course. We have the truck back sides here, but this can be removed. As you can see that there's a mushroom peg over here. If we take this off, then for this peg, you can just flip it down and then just flip it inside like that. So now we have a new bag. It's look much nicer. Of course, this is an option. Many of you won't want to open this because technically this is part for me. But for me, I don't mind it so much. Especially for us who like to create scene with the figures. We just want to make them look as best as possible. That looks really good. Let's quickly go over Optimus Prime articulation. So firstly, for the head, it can tilt to the side around that far, to the other side up to that far, rotate to the right side around that far, rotate to the left side around that far, and then it can look up tiny bit and then can look down a little as well. Going to our arm, firstly it can rotate 360 here, and then this arm guard have two joints. So first is that joint right there that it can go downward, upward like this, and then another hinge joint up here, and then another rotation joint here, so it can accommodate a lot of range for this cover. With that, the arm can go outward around that far. Then down here we have a double elbow joint, so it can bend 90 over there, and then can bend again like so. Very good articulation. As we go in here, it can hinge right there for the wrist region, and then of course it can rotate here as well, and then the hand can open, so those four fingers over here articulate together. So lots of articulation on the arm and the hand. Have the same exact articulation on the other arm. One of those skirts can be moved forward, which accommodate for this giant wedge swivel right here, which is better than all of the 9 prime figures that we have in the past at this polygon scale. And for the leg, it can split 360 like so, and then it can rotate right here. So we have firstly that rotation joint 360 over there, and then another rotation joint right here right above the leg, which is really good. The knee joints can bend around 90 degrees like so. And then as we go to the feet, this have a super good ankle tilt. Look at that. The feet can rotate down as well to accommodate for a little more range. And then for the heels, it can also be hinged like so, mainly for articulation, but we can actually utilize that for a lot of posing as well. This guy is definitely packed with articulation for what it is.
After being transformed, the figure will result in an extremely clean vehicle mode, which is nearly on par to that of the last 9 Voyager class figures. The weapons can all be combined together and installed on the vehicle mode. Furthermore, I absolutely in love with how this figure is transformed, which resemble quite a bit of how Optimus Prime actually transformed in the Extinction movie. As for side comparison, here's how Optimus Prime standing next to the KO Study Series Bumblebee. And here's how Study Series Extinction 9 Prime standing next to Study Series The Last 9 Crosshairs. Next, we have our 9 Prime standing next to Study Series Extinction Helicopter Ribs. Then we have Study Series Extinction 9 Prime standing next to Study Series The Last 9 Hot Rod. Here we have Study Series 9 Prime standing next to Study Series Dark of the Moon Ratchet, which is also the same as the Extinction Ratchet. Then we have our 9 Prime standing next to the last 9 Voyager class Hound, another figures that need a Study Series version. And here we have the Study Series 9 Prime standing next to the Extinction Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. And here are our best 2 9 Primes as Voyager scale, the Study Series version and the AMK Pro Series YOLO part. Then we have the Study Series 9 Prime standing next to a Custom Transformers Bumblebee. Next, we have the Study Series Extinction 9 Prime standing next to the Study Series Core Class Mohawk. Then here's our Study Series 9 Prime standing next to the Study Series 02 Stinger. Next is one of our best Study Series that can scale with this Optimus Prime, the Study Series Lockdown. Next, we have the mortal rival of Optimus Prime is Extinction, Study Series Galvatron. And here is how our Study Series 9 Prime standing next to the last 9 Voyager class Nitro Zeus. And then we have the Study Series Extinction 9 Prime sitting next to the last 9 Voyager class Megatron. These two look so good next to one another that even with our Study Series version for the last 9 Megatron, we should still be good. Next, we have our Study Series Extinction 9 Prime standing next to the last 9 Deluxe class Berserker. And here's how our study series 9 prime standing next to the first of the dinobot, the KO Oversized Grimlock. Next, we have our study series 9 prime standing next to the KO Oversized Scorn from BMB. Then we have our awesome 9 prime standing next to the KO Oversized Shred. And here's how our study series 9 prime standing next to all of the KO Oversized dinobots that are available on the market. And here is my favorite side comparison. The scale between our study series Extinction 9 prime next to all of the Extinction and the last 9 Autobots and Dinobots that are available on the market. All of them look incredible next to one another. Next, we have our study series 9 prime scaling with all of their Extinction and the last 9 Decepticon. This definitely shows us that many of the last 9 Voyager class figures still fit really nicely with the study series line. And lastly, we have the study series 9 prime standing next to all of their Extinction and the last 9 figures that I have in my collection, including those of the study series line, as well as from Extinction and the last 9 mainline. In overall, for this review, I definitely think that this figures is way better than that of the old Voyager class the last 9 figures, especially in terms of joy tightness and possibility.